Hello. So, on this long weekend, I thought of doing one more educational understanding about the horoscope. This includes the Eastern more so than the Western. As we talked about it, there are 12 zodiac signs, and then there are 12 houses, and then there are 12 planets. So, all of these are 12. However, when you look at the zodiac signs in Indian or Eastern philosophy and astrology, they were divided. We also consider that since there are 12 planets, each zodiac sign is controlled by certain planet. So, if you look at certain planets, they don't have any sign under their control. For example, in Indian philosophy, I mentioned the two nodes called Rahu and Ketu, and they have no sign under their control. Please also note that Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, or in Indian language it's called Harshal, they have no controlling sign. So remaining signs, the Sun, the Moon, the Mars, the Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn are left with 12 signs to be divided. Of these, the Sun controls only one, which is Leo, and the Moon controls only one, which is Cancer. So the Sun is controller or in charge of Leo, or in Indian language called Simha, and the Moon, which is Chandra, is controller of Cancer or Karka. So then there are each one, I'm going to enumerate them, and unfortunately there is no rhyme or reason. You will just have to remember it. The important part is that these planets are helpful to their own kind or their controlling zodiac signs. So just to start with, Aries, which is called Mesha, is controlled by Mars, which is Mangal. The Taurus or Vrishab is controlled by Venus, which is Shukra. Then Gemini, which is called Mithun in Indian language, is controlled by Mercury. Then Cancer or Karka, which we talked about, controlled by Moon. Then Leo or Simha is controlled by Sun. Then Virgo, which is also called Kanya, which is controlled by again Mercury. Then there is a Libra or Tula, which is controlled by Venus. Scorpio or Vrishchik is controlled by Mars. The Sagittarius or Dhanu is controlled by Jupiter, and Capricorn, which is called Makar, is controlled by Saturn. Aquarius or Kumbh is also controlled by Saturn. And the last one is Pisces or called Mean, is also controlled by Jupiter. So please remember, this will have to be crammed or remembered. The importance of this is the controlling planets have certain characteristics, and when they have certain characteristics, those are seen in these signs. And so these are the in charge, or in Sanskrit it's called Adipati, of each of the zodiac sign, or the Rashi as it is called in Eastern astrology. There's something else to be said also. Since we're talking about it, the zodiac signs indicate certain nature of a person, and this nature is also indicated by the Rashis or the zodiac signs. So when you see somebody who is belonging to, say, a Cancer or Karka Ras, and their controller is Moon, you know certain things to expect from them. So in Eastern or Indian astrology, there are 4 elements that we talk about. So we just talked about the in-charge planets of 12 different zodiac signs or Rashi. As I mentioned, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Rahu and Ketu do not have any signs under their control. Sun and Moon have only one sign under their control. So now we are dividing these signs into qualities or four at different types of element. They include a fire element or Agni Tattva, wind element or Vayu Tattva, water element or the Jala Tattva, and the last one is earth or Prithvi Tattva. As you can imagine from just the description of these words, how would it determine the nature? So since there are 12 zodiac signs and there are 4 elements which again indicate their qualities, they are divided into, each one is controlling or has an element of 3 different zodiac signs. This one is very straightforward. So 1, then 2, 3. Since each one has 3, it's every 4th. That's how it is divided. So I'll still summarize it in a minute. So the fire element or Agni Tattva controls Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius is controlled by fire element, or they are showing the signs of fire element. The wind or a Vayu Tattva is seen in Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The water or the Jala Tattva is seen in Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Certainly you can see how Pisces, which is fish, is controlled by the water element or is indicative of water element or has qualities of water element. And the last one is the earth. This includes Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So these are the 4 different elements. Now how does this help us? This helps us in determining how each person with a particular sign will react, or how does he behave, or what is his or her nature. So when you look at somebody who has Mars as a controller and the fire element as element indicating the nature, say for example Aries or a Leo, Leo of course is not under control of Mars, but you will know that they're going to be fiery, fighter, that kind of stuff. So Agni Tattva, which is the element, which is a fiery element, indicates a strong Rajoguna or activating qualities when we have talked about it before. It also has a lot of energy and enthusiasm. These are fighters. They have that enthusiasm, they have lots of energy, and they will finish the job which they start. At least they will try to. On the contrary to that, wind is intellectual qualities are there. So the people who are intellectual, people who are artistic, people who are musicians, anywhere where there is not just the laborers type of thing, but also background of brain is required, these are the people. The next one is the water. These are very soft. They have more effect from the heart than from the brain, and they are loving. They're very sensitive people. Their behavior is very soft, and they are very sensitive. If somebody says something, they'll get turned off or feel insulted. That's the water element. The last one is an earth element. These are to some extent selfish people, and however they also evaluate everything in form of what is it in for them. Little bit more money oriented, but at the same time they will work very hard to achieve whatever they want to do, and they would be persistent in their efforts, but at the same time they want reward, and if there is no reward, they're not interested. So these are the basic understanding of signs and the planets and their controller and the 4 elements, how we divide them. Hope you like it. Please, if you like it, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a nice weekend.